Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show that we are discussing today and want to avoid spoilers, stop right there. Go binge and come on back. If you have or don't mind spoilers, sit back with your favorite drink and enjoy.
Let's see. Oh, VCR. Cassettes,
I have one at home. Didn't we? Like,
VCR,
we found one when we were moving. So I still have a VCR at home,
Yeah, we had mom.
I haven't plugged it in yet,
have one.
so I will try it because I have a couple things from school. Cool. Some of my old films from film school.
Okay.
On VCR, so I'll have to try that out.
And all the kids are like interested in the VCRs now, the VHS tapes.
Yeah. At the thrift store, they're like, "Oh, I want to watch. Can we get one?" No, I'm not gonna buy one. No. Like, I don't even have a DVD player. Like, what's wrong with you?
I miss I miss Blockbuster and like the Friday night feeling that when you go to pick the movie, hoping it's there, because then when you
have to figure out when it's not there.
I know, then like the smell of the Blockbuster.
Oh my god, I smell like popcorn all the time.
And like when we saw in Captain Marvel when she lands in Blockbuster, and I was like, oh, Blockbuster. I have a Blockbuster game that I bought recently from like Chapters and stuff, and like. And you open it up, it's like the parking lot, and there's like the sign. Anyways, it's fun. It's fun. Oh my God. But it's so nostalgic. Like that was such a 90s thing, because that was like a Friday night thing to do. Is you rent some movies for the weekend, and if you don't rewind, then you get charged for not rewinding.
You kind of rewind.
Rewind. And then I remember when I worked at Videotron with Lorianne in Montreal, and like the Videotron there had like an adult section. You go through these doors, and it's like the adults, you know. And you watched all the creepy people going in there,
So
for the weird guys.
I remember that. Like we actually.
I don't think Blockbuster had those, but Montreal Videotron had them.
Don't worry, I remember as a kid looking.
You're so funny.
Of course they did.
But like Blockbuster.
No,
they didn't have any.
They didn't have anything. Not even Rogers Video didn't have it.
No, but see,
the creepy section?
Like the
the porn and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm trying to be nice and not
if we can swear.
You can swear you want, don't worry.
But I don't remember Rogers Video that much. I just remember Blockbuster was it's in my memories. Blockbuster. It's like the smell
I'm just saying,
of like popcorn always, going and like just browsing
busy.
everything. It was
busy. But it's funny because it was like before 19 years old, because 19 and over, you're like Friday nights you were going out. You weren't really
But if you like had a date night in with somebody and whatever, you're renting movies, and it was like the whole thing. It was a whole atmosphere, and then that like faded out once and like the guy who like, I don't know if the story is accurate, but the guy who created Netflix went to Blockbuster and they laughed at him.
Well, you know it's funny,
and then Blockbuster went down, and Netflix went
down. Well, Netflix started as it was Blockbuster.
It was Redbox. Was it Redbox or whatever? Or something?
No, it was Netflix.
No,
it was just by mail order, right?
Yeah, it was mail order.
Right.
Redbox was a completely different thing.
Redbox is different?
I thought they were the same.
No, but Netflix had a Redbox.
Yeah.
So when you ordered all of your DVDs or your movies,
you can return them.
You read.
But so what it was like Blockbuster, but it was mail-in, so you didn't actually have to leave the house. They just mail your stuff in and you return it at the Redbox.
It was so funny when they were going away with like no DVDs and all that stuff. Like we were like, what's gonna happen to Netflix? What's gonna happen? Look what they did. They streamed everything, and they're making like billions. They don't need like.
But it went from like Blockbuster to a box at the grocery store to like internet, streaming, and now there's just so many streaming services that it's like
there's
cable again.
Too many. There's too
many.
What I mean?
Like
you're paying for. You got Netflix, you got HBO, you got Disney, you got Crave,
Amazon,
and then like for Korean stuff, you have Viki, you have QIYI, you have what's the other one? There used to be an amazing one called Drama Fever, which was like had every single thing, new stuff that's new, stuff that's old. It was literally exactly a Netflix, but for Korean drama, for Korean, Japanese, and Chinese dramas. And some American company bought it. Was it Sony bought it? I think it was Sony bought it, and then just shut it down. Literally the next day. They bought it.
Oh, that sucks, man.
And then you're
Corporate
like,
America.
they bought it.
Here we go.
And then we're going to make it so great. And guys, I was following this literally every day. I was a kid. And the website was there one day. And then they announced it was purchased. And then literally the next day, we have currently shut down Drama Fever indefinitely.
That's so ridiculous.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's also like BritBox for like British shows. And
and then like the Hulu and then,
Hulu's American. We don't have that here.
No, we don't have that here. You need a VPN for that. And then you have like the reality show.
I don't even
know.
There is a
Reality Star or something like that.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
It's just too much. It's just too much.
It's too much. It is too
I don't
much.
watch TV,
It's,
so
and,
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
and it's like $20 every single one of the subscriptions at least. Yeah. Like Netflix is up to $20 now.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Prime is.
Is it $20 now, Netflix?
$18.99.
No way.
No,
But that's
am I
like
paying
the
that
highest.
now? No.
That's the highest thing. That's so you can stream on like 4 or 5 different things.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have that. Mine's like $15.
If you want the basic one, I think it's like $14.
Yeah, I think it's $14.99. Then we have it just like
two screens,
2 or 3 screens. Yeah.
But like I have it on my TV. I have it on my phone. She has it on her phone. Zach has it on his phone and on his computer as well. So it's like I gotta have it so that none of us get logged out. So it's a pain in the ass logging back in. So it's like $20 a month for that, and then you have Amazon Prime is $80 with your Prime
membership.
So it's $120 a year. So it's not too bad, but like Prime kind of sucks in my opinion.
Actually, it's not bad.
It's getting a little bit better, but honestly, I don't watch
There's some
TV,
things.
so I don't watch anything.
Like they have some really good shows on there.
Kids all watch it. Daryl watches it.
I mean, and Disney Plus has like the good stuff
Disney has
too.
all the Disney stuff, right? Since Disney owns pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Soon enough, there'll be K-dramas on there because Disney will own that too.
You're so funny. Or you're hoping so.
Yeah, watch. They'll start buying out a bunch of. They'll buy out TVN and they'll buy out JTBC soon.
It's just it's just getting a lot and.
Disney's a conglomerate. Disney's like eats everybody, right? They took over Fox. What do you like?
Yeah, but Korea likes to.
Yeah, but like Fox is like all American, and they're like, yeah, okay, here's $4 billion.
Fox is a joke.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And kids will never know what it is, to have to run to the bathroom during commercial breaks.
Oh,
and and then come, make it back for your show on time, or
recording your show,
or then and not being able to just watch the next episode,
right?
Yeah.
They're
no binging. There's no binging.
And like the whole thing of like not having commercials, like they don't have commercials right now. So anytime there's a commercial on YouTube, they're watching something, they're like, I hate commercials. I'm like, this is like nothing compared to what we went through.
What's even funny is like it's like. Now they can binge watch, but now they even like some shows you have to wait.
Now they're doing it again. You have to wait weekly. They're doing with some.
Like after it's all released, it's all there.
Yeah,
right?
so you can wait. I know some people will wait like a few weeks and then they'll watch the whole thing.
They'll binge it, but then back then you didn't have that. Even if the show was done, it was like okay,
it was done.
That's it. You have to wait for the you have to wait for the reruns or
the reruns.
Hope to God that it comes out on VHS sometime soon, right?
Yeah, we didn't have like the Blu-ray or whatever, like the whole season on Blu-ray like that. No, we used to have to tape it.
Yeah, that's it. Like tape it and then hope to God no one tapes it over you, especially with the house with the 6 of us.
Yeah, it's so funny now that one like I say tape all the time. I'm gonna tape you. I'm gonna tape you, and my kids are like, "What's tape, mom? What's tape?" I'm like,
"That's what I used too."
Record you? I'm gonna record you. No, I think it's cooler to say tape. Thanks. I'm gonna say tape.
Yeah.
I got that. Yeah. But like, what is?
Do they not even like question what the floppy disk is for the save button? They don't question what that is.
They don't know.
No. They just think it's the save.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They don't know it's a floppy disk. No, they don't know.
They don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Makes me so
it's so funny because like Maddie is like on a 90's binge right now, so like. She would like we went thrift shopping and she's like, oh, you were so lucky to be like, going to high school in the 90s. I'm like,
but I feel like there's thrift shopping. There's like nothing from the 90s there now.
No,
like it's
nothing.
all crap.
Really, so she's trying to kind of like pull outfits together that would work.
She should go to like skate shops. Because I feel like skate shops have kind of like.
I wasn't a skater though, so my look was completely.
No, but I feel like that's kind of what
that.
she like wants the baggy pants or like the loose fit and whatever. The skate shops.
You know what she's missing? Are the overalls.
Yeah, I know.
The jean overalls. That's the
I have
90s.
Overalls.
Very
but
90s.
they're like tight.
I had really baggy overalls. I had like baggy pants. I had like.
It was because TLC was such a big thing, and they wore the overalls.
They had the overalls.
And they were
I was very TLC. Yeah.
Very gangster.
And my pants were like all different colors. I tried to do like red, orange, blue. I don't think I had yellow. I had green. It was Stitches that was selling all of those at one point. So I had all the colors. It was so good.
Didn't they close?
No.
Yeah, the one
No, I think it's still open.
No, we were there.
Urban Planet's fairly similar though. Urban Planet's fairly similar, and you'll find like 90s stuff at Urban Planet.
But I find it's too sexy. They're like 90s version of 2021. Like it's super. I'm like, I wasn't wearing crop tops that cropped like.
I don't know, but I mean, everyone was wearing crop tops in the 90s.
No, but it's like pretty like
crop tops
because you're not allowed. Yeah. You weren't allowed.
That's
like
weird.
at school, you weren't allowed like to wear any of that stuff. Like you were sent home. Like I remember getting in trouble like for having like
spaghetti straps and stuff. Yeah, you couldn't wear spaghetti straps and like we couldn't wear crop tops at school or anything. But like we had crop tops.
Yeah, but it wasn't really like crop. Like it wasn't
like crop tops now is like really high.
Yeah, are they? Like I don't know.
Like it's really bad. Like even
You go to like stores now and there's girls wearing bras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Weird.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, like, I think you whatever. I don't know what like it's fashion. Like it's.
I mean, it comes and
your
goes
expression or whatever, and it's true. It comes and it goes. But to say that it's a '90s version is a little off. But I mean, we copied off of what the '70s, like the
they all recycle. Yeah.
So we all recycle like. Looks like I'm trying to explain to Maddie what vintage is versus what is retro.
Yeah.
And to her like retro is 90s.
Right.
And I was like, no, retro is not 90. Like, so it's funny like just to see the differences in our like age gap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, for her it's retro for them because it's a long time ago. But
no, it's not. Retro is like 60s. No. No, but that's vintage, Mom. I'm like, no, it's not vintage. Vintage is...
like for us, vintage is like 50s.
We were trying to have like this conversation yesterday because we went through all these like thrift stores down in the plateau yesterday. So it was super
like I go to the vintage pop-ups, but those are all like 1930s to 1950s, 1960s.
Yeah, but
and
that's
stuff.
not what they want right now.
No, that's
some of them.
No,
do.
but
Like,
that's a whole other
rockabilly,
that's a whole other crowd. Yeah, that's
more
that's
that's
I know
crowd,
that's
so-
different,
But they won't. That high school crowd won't.
no, they don't do that. That's a specific look,
Yeah.
and which I know.
The emo look is coming back, and I'm like,
God.
are they emotional? No, they're not. They just like the look.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that look. I hate the emo look.
Yeah. The emo look is actually trending.
Because it was like it was gothy, but like
Soft goth.
goth,
Yeah,
soft
it's just funny.
Nice.
I'm like, you guys have no idea what we went through to be this.
Yeah.
Because you guys are bringing it back just for trend and not for what it is for.
meant.
Yeah.
Because it was like the definition of fashion statement, right? Back then it was like it was an actual statement for what you stand
And we
for.
didn't look like each other. Because
No, we were all different.
Nowadays, these in Montreal anyways, because we're such a high fashion city, they all look alike.
Yeah.
But this is the whole Instagram thing, though,
Yeah.
because everybody on
all
Instagram
look
looks alike. They all have the same fillers. They all have the same boat. Like they all have, they all look the
alike.
same. They all look like it's
And
all
I'm
this
so-
Kardashian Jenner look.
Yeah.
But like when we were in high school, and you can go through all our yearbooks, you'll see,
Everybody had a
everyone had a
different
different look. You know,
Yeah.
whether you were alternative, you were goth, emo, whatever, or like more fashionable, whatever. Like everyone still looked different. Everyone had their own look, even though they're part of like different crowds. It like stood out, and that's why I love the '90s teen movies. Because you see it there. You see the different crowds in that. Like, you look at Clueless, and she was, like, very high fashion. You look at, there was the skaters, there was, like, the goth, there was the
but
whatever,
they showed
you know?
it to you. They showed you all the different groups. But now they don't do that
But they
for
don't-
any of the movies.
Because
for
it's
any
not,
of the
that's not
teenage
the, that's
movies.
not
It's
the...
everybody's like, it's either you're either the popular or
you're not.
Yeah,
That's it.
that
There's
was
no,
it.
like, there's no difference.
No, and I feel like that's just the whole Instagram, YouTube, scene.
It's so, like...
And it's ugly.
Yeah.
It's super...
Because
so,
they all
like,
look alike.
We'll go to the mall, and I'll see all these, all the teenagers, all the mall rats, like, hanging out and stuff like that. And we used to do that and whatever and stuff like that. But we all had, like...
Yeah.
We used to work at the mall, and we used to, whatever.
Yeah.
Now they're, like, really being mall rats. Like, it's
They're,
pretty...
like, literally just
but
sitting
they
there,
all look alike. They're all wearing their little Kappa pants and, like, the little...
Oh, that's Montreal.
Like the Kappa pants,
making
the
its way
short Canada Goose jacket.
Oh my God.
They all have the same hair, and like the
When I
girls
was
are all
in-
wearing the black yoga pants with that.
When I went to
same
college,
jacket.
when I was in like college in Montreal,
It was
all
super, like-
the guys, like more like the Italian and the Greeks, had the bra strap in the hair. That was
Yeah.
the whole thing, and the Kappa outfits and stuff. That was so big
the soccer-
in Montreal.
like the
Yeah,
soccer
that was such
player
a
look.
that was a
Yeah.
big thing. And but only in like one cafeteria because that was the Italian and Greeks or whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah, super funny.
Oh my god, that's.
But we didn't have that. We didn't like.
That was called like when I was there. That was like 2003.
Yeah.
So
we didn't. I don't know. High school was not like anything like that. College too wasn't. Really
because we
like
went
that
to high school
either.
here. I went to college in Montreal. Such a different and the vibe is so different. It was so different. Like I remember coming to visit here and I'd be like in like a certain outfit and you're like looking at people were looking at me weird, but that was the fashion in Montreal. Whereas, here it wasn't there yet. And even like when I was working, a few years ago, this woman came to meet my boss and she's like, I love your shoes. I was wearing stilettos. And I said, I always wear like super nice shoes here or whatever. It's the only thing I can keep my identity working in like the government or whatever. And then she's like, I used to live in Montreal. I'm from Montreal. And she's like, but as soon as I moved to Ottawa, I changed my whole outfit, my wardrobe.
Yeah, because
she's like, it's too flashy here. Yeah. I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna wear whatever. And people would talk about my shoes or whatever I'd wear at work. And I'm like, people would like, someone made a comment and be like, oh, it's, you're looking for Maissa? Oh, she's the one that looks like she's going clubbing. And I was just dressed in a pencil skirt and a nice blouse. Well, they're in their friggin' t-shirts with wolves on it in the government. You know what I mean? And jeans.
You try.
Yes, they don't. But because I stand out and I'm dressed up,
so funny.
I look like I'm going clubbing to them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
super
like,
ridiculous.
Everything's toned down here.
So toned, come here, and so you come, Montreal, it was,
I used to wear red chucks and blue chucks, and I'd have a red and blue chuck, one on each foot, but just wearing red chucks, I was like, oh Michael, your shoes, oh my god, why are you, like, they're so bright, oh my god, and it's like the same, like this, I go to work, I see the same people all the time, and it's the same comments on my shoes, it's like, and then I'll wear just regular runners, like black or white runners, and it's like, no.
Yeah, JC stands out too with his shoes because he's always like in bright colors or bright patterns and bright, and stuff, and people always like make comments.
They treat it like childish.
Yeah,
That was the thing that I got a lot. It's like
it's so ridiculous. I hate that.
Or that's what my son used to wear. Ha ha ha. It's like, okay, fuck you too.
Yeah,
like.
Like, unfortunately.
No, I know, and that's what pissed me off. Like the superhero T-shirts. Now all the kids, because of the 90s, they have all the graphic tees, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, he comes home one day with an Ice Cube T-shirt, and then I'm like, oh nice, you got an Ice Cube T-shirt, yeah, Boys in the Hood. And then we go to the store, and there's a big Tupac T-shirt, right? And it's like
nobody's ever gonna understand what any of that means.
I'm like, Zach, if you can tell me who that is,
nobody's gonna ever understand that. Like,
and then he searches for it. You're like, literally, he's like, takes a picture, searching. That's Tupac.
Oh no, Tupac.
Like, I got so offended. I'm like,
oh my god,
you fucking say that name right. You say his name right. Show some respect.
Like they don't know what rap is now.
I was I was talking to Daryl. I'm like, should we let them watch Boys in the Hood? Should we like let them just watch and show them exactly what?
Yo, if you're watching
the hood, like, you know what I mean? Like, should we bring? And I'm like, no, they're too young. They're not like. I don't think they're ever gonna appreciate it, and they're never gonna understand it.
But his friends listen. Like his friend that was here earlier this week was listening to Tupac.
Yeah, but he was listening. He was like listening to Tupac. Because, you gotta listen to Tupac. Listen to the beginning. And he's like, Drake's the best. Like, okay, that's.
But it's all trending on TikTok. That's why. It's funny because they're like, oh, you know this song, Mom? I'm like, yeah, it's from my era. No, it's not. I'm like, yo, it's not TikTok.
Yeah.
It's my era. Like, relax there.
Yeah. They don't believe you.
Yeah.
No.
And then
super,
you'll listen to a song. Like, oh, this is a TikTok song. It's like, whoa.
No,
it is not.
Chill.
And TikTok ruins new songs.
Oh yeah.
TikTok ruins new songs.
But I have to say though, there's a lot of new artists coming off of TikTok, which is really good.
Yeah. No, like TikTok. Okay, so. Artists on TikTok are good, but then it's the music people are using on TikTok, the songs that, like, the first one that was super popular, like Savage Love from Jason Derulo. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't listen to that. I can't. It's on the radio. I have to turn it off because like it's overdone.
Jason Derulo now has like skyrocketed in like fame.
Oh no, for sure.
Because of TikTok, because now everybody is like tagging him, duetting him, doing all kinds of things with him, and then
it revived a lot of people's their careers.
Okay.
There's this Ottawa group that was part of the show called I don't remember, a couple of years ago, but it was American, I think, and they were there, and this girl and this guy, and like he played mostly like the keyboard or whatever, and she sang, and then they did what was it, Jamie? Oh my god, Elijah Woods and Jamie, yeah. And they were really good, and they made it far, and then the label dropped him and her. I don't know what happened, and he's on TikTok now, and he's producing other people on TikTok. He finds people making music like random, you know, whatever, and then he's like, I'm gonna make a beat out of this, and he creates a whole beat for them.
I think I saw that too.
And then he made this one girl like super popular, and her songs on the radio from him.
Oh, that's really good.
And so he's producing random, like he just picks like random TikToks, and he's like, we'll make it a bop, and then
Imagine,
he adds
like,
things to it.
How hard it was back in the 90s to
do
have
anything.
a record,
You can't do anything.
to have a song out, to have a single out, and the amount of stupidity that you had to get through just to be like meeting with a record label.
For sure. I mean, there's still shitty people who run the labels and stuff, and they take advantage of them and stuff.
But now it's a lot of indie, and people are going for indie now, and that's what's gonna like throw out all of those labels out the. Like,
and that's the thing. Like now
it's
it's
crazy.
Like, it's no more, and I think that they're gonna change this. I don't know. I hope it changes in Korea, because in Korea you have these big companies, right? SM Entertainment, JYP, YG. They're like the big three, and they have trainees. You go there to become a trainee to be an idol, right? So you're training to become an idol.
Like a K-pop star.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
that's
like
crazy.
Here, so it's like that's kind of like in the 90s, you're going to find studio time.
You freaking have to
paint,
work.
Yeah.
exactly.
You had to
work your ass
work.
off, and then you had to sell your own shit.
Not to say that you're not working now.
No. So it's a different type.
It's a different type of thing.
There's more visibility now. You
Yeah,
can get more
exactly.
visibility, but people can steal your shit easier as well,
Oh, yeah.
right?
So easy.
Oh yeah, but like that's where it's like you got to be a little bit smarter about your stuff. So it's like if you're making a song, you before you post anything, honestly.
But even in
cover your
films,
ass.
this girl had done a film,
I've
and
seen that. Oh my,
the
I know
one,
exactly what you're talking about.
So she made a film, and it was one of the popular like trendy news sources that asked if they could share it. And
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And then they made a
that.
film exactly like it.
Yeah. Did
Literally
she get
the
anything out of
exact
it
same
finally?
thing.
I don't know if that's, but someone on TikTok was like, "I'm a lawyer. Contact me. I'm gonna help you." But she has a film, like it's, it is out. I don't
It's just
know.
so funny how they think they can get away with it when
Yeah.
there's like timestamps on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she has
that's it.
proof.
And it's like
And this is why I can't like when you like the movie that came out that looked like my the intro to my web series or whatever, like the first episode of my web series. And like it was super random coincidence.
It's not a coincidence, but whatever.
It's not a coincidence.
Did you end up watching it?
No, I want to see it, but I watched that part and I was like, that's so
That's
weird.
literally exactly the same thing as your
It's
show.
word for word,
like
scene
it's very
for scene.
It's very
No way.
similar.
It's not very similar. It's scene for
It's in
scene.
denial.
I don't remember what it was called. It's like three girls that are best friends, and like she got broken up with, and like she's in bed and she can't.
That's the one.
That's the one.
No, it's a different one.
Oh, it's another
I
one.
think it's a
Yeah,
different
It's the
one.
same one. It's the same scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
So they're
so
all taking your.
they're all taking my scene, but I mean, like I don't know who watched it. Like,
Yeah, but they got Selena Gomez to like
produce it. Yeah, so
That was,
whatever.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. Fuck.
It just goes to show that I have good ideas. I just don't have the money to execute them as well as Selena Gomez.
Yeah, but you know that it's stolen.
I just
You don't have to say it because I know you might get in trouble, but I'll say it.
No,
it
I
was
don't-
stolen.
but at least,
It was
like, I
copied.
don't
Like
know,
it was
like-
copied.
Yeah.
It was copied.
like-
It was completely like word for
And you
word,
can't,
scene
like-
for scene, like
Exactly. Now
like
you
snot
can't
for
get away with
snot.
it. Yeah.
Like
it's
can we
just-
like
It was like
seriously like
like.
it was like
was
I know
bad.
it was like crazy, but I don't
Like
know.
so that's the thing.
Because that's something you put on the internet, and like my thing was out there. I mean, it was a
Exactly.
series, a web series, whatever. People.
so they probably think that like they're not gonna get caught.
Well, they can't. They have
And
it.
like that they're big. She's producing,
bigger, like, she's
bigger
got a
companies
name.
behind her. So it's like, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Well, I'm a nobody.
Right.
Like, so
It doesn't
what are
matter.
they
You can still
gonna-
go after them.
No, for what? Like, what proof can I say they even watched it?
Timestamping.
Like, I'm a nobody.
It's timestamping. Yours was before. It's scene for scene.
But
If you play it side by side,
it's very close. It's very close.
I'm not.
I know.
But it just
But
goes to show that I have good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone needs to hire me so that I can
Pitch,
put it
pitch.
out there.
Sure.
So I can pitch my other ideas.
So that's it. Like in the 90s, it would have been you probably wouldn't even had that
like,
because people wouldn't have been. It would be a lot harder to get it get that exposure. Now it's like YouTube, social media.
No, and you can do it yourself, kind of thing. And everyone has a camera. Everyone has like, everyone's a vlogger and everyone's a whatever. And then, I don't know. But then there's the people who are really working hard. And then you have the big TikTokers who are doing literally nothing and who are getting the roles. Like, do you know how much money I've put into investing in my acting career over the last 20 whatever years? Yeah, and then she just does a little freaking dance like this, and then she's hired.
Apparently, that dance was not hers.
No, none of their dances are hers. They're not.
They're actually from people of color.
Yes, absolutely.
And so all of those.
But that's a whole thing too, and
all of those dances that are being made popular by the
white people. Yeah.
It's a lot
by white people.
Why are people watching them?
Are being stolen.
Why are kids watching them? Yeah. Why?
Because we don't. So there was a really good. I forget. Anyways, there's a like a podcast or something like that, and he was basically talking about how TikTok pushes out certain videos, and you should. I don't remember where.
Like some of my videos get like 2 views.
It's all marketing, right? So they push out your video for the first couple of like hour or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So if it keeps getting they'll push it out again to see how much more it gets. So certain things get pushed out more than others because it's more popular than certain.
But like, why do people want to see these people dancing like stupidly?
Like Jackass. It's like people like embarrassing themselves.
Are they? Is that what they think? It's embarrassing themselves? No, like I don't know.
No, they don't. They don't. But it goes to show that the colonizer mentality is still there. The white people,
of course, it is
still getting.
Of course, it
all
is
of the attention, and then whatever is being done by people of color is being thrown in the background.
Yeah.
Because the white people are taking over and showing you that they did it.
Yeah. No, well, she got in trouble when she was on Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Fallon got in trouble too. So then he had to have the originals through Zoom do it, where she was in person doing the dances. Yeah. So like. But they threw a record label at her. They they threw a movie at her. They whatever,
Ellen
and you're just
brought
like
on the original, one of the girls that did one of the original dances to one of the big songs.
Because one of her guys is like on TikTok.
Because he's a dancer. Yeah. So I mean, he would have been
and he's married to a white woman and stuff. They're big on TikTok.
Yeah, I see some of their stuff. Yeah.
So you can think you can dance?
Was he on that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Was he a dancer or a judge?
He's a dancer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like one of the first 2 seasons?
No way. I didn't watch... I did watch a couple of those seasons, but I liked the Canadian one, and they canceled the Canadian one.
I'm so glad there was no... There was nothing. What? No, I guess
no.
There was
American Idol started when 90s. I was it was 2000.
Yeah,
and
so I'm super glad that we didn't have any of that stuff. In the 90s.
It was like 2001 because when I went to college in like 2003,
I'm so happy.
It was it was a thing.
There. I think not even Big Brother.
I auditioned for Canadian Idol in 2003. Yes, I remember. This is like
so I'm super glad none of that.
I think reality shows really came into like the 2000s.
Yeah. No, it was in the 90s because Survivor was a 90s thing.
Yeah, but that was it. That was it.
But that was like the biggest,
And it was the shittiest thing I've ever seen in my life. But yeah,
and it was still going.
And it's like viewing parties though.
They did Survivor, and then Fear Factor came in, and like that's where Joe Rogan came from was Fear Factor.
Yeah, he was a stand-up comedian, right? So he was trying to get somewhere. So
and he did Fear Factor. And then there are... Yeah, and then Kardashians and all them came later. But there's other stuff.
Much later.
Not much later. 2007. Paris Hilton and whatever, The Simple Life.
But that was
Nicole
Richie.
Nicole Richie was it.
Yeah, Nicole. Like, that was like late.
That was early 2000s.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's nothing like that in the 90s.
Oh, no. Survivor was the 90s. Survivor.
That's it.
And we actually watched TV. We had TV shows.
Yeah, there was actual TV.
But now, like, people like... But even the reality shows are not reality.
But it's what's funny is that I look back at like what like I said, Maddie's on a binge of the 90s. So we watch. So I don't watch TV like at all. Like I don't like it. I don't have time. And so
Are you watching Bridgerton? No, did you watch Bridgerton?
I have not watched Bridgerton. Listen, anyways, I have too many kids that are at the inappropriate age and they're up late and I have no time. So we're watching horror movies from the 90s. So we started off with Scream.
Right. Oh, that's like a classic.
It's like So all of the, like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, we did all the Scream movies, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and just watching them, and I'm like, oh my God, there's no people of color. Oh my God.
I know, they were so good though.
Wait. And then I'm like, so then she binged
but that was the whole thing.
Buffy, but that's the thing, right? So they binged Buffy, no people of color.
Yeah.
She binged Friends, no people of color.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, how did I never ever notice that?
Because we were brainwashed to think that this was like
normal.
And this is why no one
But we did have BET, so anything that was person of color was sent over to
we
the
had
BET channel.
We watched In Living Color.
But everything was separate.
Like,
Nobody was. There was nothing on
strokes,
NBC, nothing on CBS, nothing on like any of the major channels. Nothing of color was on that. We had to watch it on BET. We had to watch it on a separate, on a separate completely. And I was like, holy crap! And I'm watching all this, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we allowed that to happen. Yeah. I can't believe we were okay with it. Nothing happened to us. We went on with our lives. We didn't say.
But then we always felt like, I mean, people who wanted to become actors or whatever never saw themselves represented, so they never felt like they could do it. And they weren't allowed to do it. Yeah. And even now, there's still colorism.
Absolutely.
Because they're still casting Middle Eastern people, South Asians as Middle Easterns.
Well, that's because of 2000 and what happened September 11th, because of September 11th, nobody will ever allow an Arab to be better than what September 11th
but they're making characters, Middle Eastern characters. Now that they're even making them like normal characters, they're still casting South Asian people.
Casting them as refugees or
they're still, for sure,
coming away from the war-torn country, blah, blah, blah.
But even the one, I'm not going to say what I auditioned for, she was a regular Lebanese character. They cast an Indian girl to play her.
Yeah, of course they did. But I'm telling you, it's because of the September 11th, what they did on that, with that, and allowed people to, allowed the white people to turn around and say, Arabs are bad.
Yeah.
Regardless, and no matter what your conspiracy theory is, and we know all that stuff, they will always revert back to that. Yeah. Knowing that the colonizer mentality has been there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Yet we're cast as the bad person.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, for sure.
Pakistanis, Afghanis.
But they're like the lesser evil than the Arabs, Indians. So of course they're gonna give it to the South Asian.
Yeah. I remember when you were doing I took you down to Toronto for an audition, and it was for Arab refugees.
It was because it was based.
Were you wearing a hijab?
No, it was a real story. It was based on the real story about the girl who got her dad ran her over with his car because
the one in Montreal.
Yeah, it was an honor killing.
Texas or something like that.
Yeah, it was an honor killing.
Because seen with a guy or whatever. Her dad ran her over, and so I don't know if they were Persian or Arab. I can't
They're
remember.
mostly Persian. I find that do that.
No, they were Arab, but there's a lot of Persians. That's what it was. It was a lot of Persians.
When we were there, we're sitting there, and everybody in there
were Persian.
It was
playing for Arab
or Pakistani, and I was like,
I find
and the casting director went up to him.
He's like, "Yo, you're perfect," and I'm like. And she's like...
She's super scary.
She's very intimidating.
She's super nice. Super intimidating.
I've never met someone, so I've never been so intimidated.
So you were going to be the boyfriend that were going to be run over?
Well, that's what
I was like...
the weird part,
and I had to, I was in there for a while. They made me, play with other actors or whatever while I was still there and stuff like that. And when she told me, I was like, listen, it's either you or me. It's not, but no, it's not, because you're not playing my boyfriend. No.
Because I didn't know. I was like, but I was going to Japan.
That's right. You couldn't do it.
Right?
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
So I'm sitting, but she asked me, I'm like, I could?
Well, you're like, kind of, and you're like, she's like, you are an actor or you're not an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, my sister's in there auditioning.
My sister's in there auditioning. Yeah. So. And I was like, and she's like, okay. And then left me, but then I was watching her the entire time with all the other people. I'm like, oh, this chick is amazing.
Yeah, no, she's one of the bigger casting directors. It's non-union stuff, but they do a lot of the reenactment documentary docu shows or whatever.
Oh, okay. But it's funny because I find Persians don't look like Arabs. I know we're close, but I mean I don't find
they don't.
They don't
care, man. They don't.
No, I know. But I'm just trying to be like.
They don't know what Arabs look like. They think we're all brown.
That's the funny part. One guy came in, he
Jesus
looked like
brown,
a Bollywood
but apparently
star.
He's white. So.
But they all think we look South Asian. They don't understand. I have a friend who's
like I said,
pure Syrian immigrant, and he's
racist.
white as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't realize that we're on a spectrum here.
Yeah. Like, do you remember? I don't know if you were doing your register or not, but there was a guy that came in and he looked like a Bollywood star, a Bollywood star. Like,
did they cast him?
And like he came to the audition, and he came in. He had like an open cut shirt. He had like the crazy hair, but he looked like Indian. He looked like he was from India. Like he looked like he came out of a Bollywood movie. And I'm like, how is he coming to an audition for a Middle Eastern Arab?
Because they say if they can look Middle Eastern. But it's funny because like Lisa was like, I can't submit you for South Asian. I can get in trouble. But the South Asians are getting my parts.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? But she's like, should I try? Maybe I should. I don't know. Like, so it's just really frustrating.
What kind of trouble is she gonna get into?
Well, like, so then I don't know. Maybe I'm not able to audition or whatever. Like they'll tell her like, don't do that again. You know, things like that. I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's very annoying.
But a lot of South Asians
get my roles.
But I'm saying like they look like white.
No.
Like they look.
No, a lot of them are
because they're
brown.
mixed. A lot of them are like they have it in their DNA, right? So a lot of them have like the light eyes and the lighter skin.
Yeah, like maybe like that. But
the prettier girls and
but they're still
all that
brown.
stuff.
Like compared.
Yes,
I went once,
but
I went once, and I was like, for an Indian woman, I was like, Lisa, I think it's far-fetched. I get there, and I'm like, this girl is like Indian next to me, and the director's Indian. Like they're gonna know. I didn't have to say anything.
I was just
like, oh my
I'm
god,
a random person.
The thing is, like, I'm not white and I'm not brown. Like I'm like this,
You're tan.
I'm in between. So it's just such a weird box to be in, and I don't want to be in a box, but like it's just frustrating, and it's really there's a lot of colorism and whatever happening.
I mean, from like progression from the 90s to now, that's a pretty good thing.
It's pretty like that's why I'm like that's like it's like
somewhere
because we gotta start somewhere.
And it's funny because like, and I look at the actors that I like in terms of like what my attraction is, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's very like it's very white. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's very white. So I see where that comes from. I see, like, because of the movies I watched and the shows I watched, there wasn't any color in any of that stuff. Everybody was white. So that's the only thing I'm going to technically, you know, be attracted to. And that's who are, you know, basically they're casting all of those people.
Yeah. And like there was a casting call for like I was sharing for one of the casting directors because she's like, can you know, they're looking for a Lebanese young girl or whatever, can you help me like spread the word? And I did. And then a friend of mine was saying that she had shared it for me, and then this woman had been like, oh, I think my daughter can pass as Middle Eastern, she's like tan enough. And then my friend who shared it, she's indigenous, and she's like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Good.
She's like, and she like ripped her a new one, and the woman got so angry at her. She's like, it's none of your business. If she can pass, why not? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, because you're taking away from someone who is actually Arab. You know, like, don't do that. And this is the mentality for a lot of people, you know, like, if Middle Eastern, okay, maybe if she's South Asian or like, you know, Persian or whatever, we can still submit. We can still whatever. Or maybe she looks a little tan.
Because
we can still do it.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
It's funny because in the 90s, so thinking about like the shows that I watched in the 90s, because I was a kid watching Power Rangers, Spider-Man.
Well, they had one Asian and one black person.
Well, that's the thing. So the black,
and one girl.
So no, it's two girls.
Right. So they added the girls. So that was the plus.
So check this. So check the colors, okay? So the Red Ranger was white, right? The Yellow Ranger was Asian.
And red.
That was the whole thing.
Okay. The Pink Ranger was a white girl.
Yeah.
The Blue Ranger was a white boy, and then the Black Ranger was a black guy.
Yeah.
Right? So the color, it's like,
Yeah, it was really
nobody really noticed that.
Well, that's why in the new Power Ranger movie, they like, they made a comment, and they made a comment about it.
And the guy's like, oh,
he's like,
I'm black.
And he's
no,
like,
you're not. Yeah, I'm black.
So.
But yes, and then you had like, I remember watching the Batman, the animated series. There was like the only time you see like a black character was a villain.
Yeah, this is what they've done, and it's awful.
Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man was
we're all terrorists.
But this is why, like,
exactly.
You know, so my kids are like considered what, like terrorists, and like what are the Asians are what?
Smart.
Like, no,
smart terrorists.
They're considered like what's it called? Because they're like Chinese and Filipino, so they're considered like, you know, just like the beneath whatever. So like gangsters and
as
like,
now it's,
but I mean, this is
really
when
bad, right?
When they made not another teen movie, they make reference to like the only black guy.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
the token black guy.
So
sorry,
token.
man, I gotta go.
Yeah, like they, you know, they didn't change anything, but they like reference it.
But yeah,
the token
they
black
reference it,
guy.
they make fun of it, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It's like, don't make fun of it. Do something about it, right?
No, but they want to laugh at their stupidity, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah,
Like, man,
it's just-
it's like.
I was
oh,
looking at it, I was like,
yeah.
like, that's not, you know, back then we were just like, whatever. Now I'm so conscious of everything. And
Because we were brainwashed to like think that this was the norm.
Funny?
We
like,
grew up with it.
I find that we weren't, but it's not that we were brainwashed, but we weren't affected in a sense. Like, we went on with our lives.
Yeah.
We were okay.
I think.
Blah, blah, blah.
I
but
feel like
now
they-
it's like...
Until September 11th happened. And
then we were like screwed. But I'm
Yeah.
saying like now it's like you got to be careful
Yeah.
on every single thing because now you're just gonna insult everybody.
But I feel like, you know, not to say like...
So like I'm okay.
But they shouldn't have gotten away with half the shit
No,
that, you
I know. But I'm saying I'm okay growing up in the 90s because
Yeah.
I'm not insulted. I got a thicker skin and I can stand up for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, okay, no.
But we didn't
let's
have
talk
social
about
media.
it. Let's not bully each other. Like, let me text you and tell you off, but then when I see you in your face, oh, hi, how are you? Like, no, that doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel like in the 90s, because we were from immigrant parents and we're
Yeah.
growing up with immigrant parents, that watching the stuff on the TV, you're like, oh, it's Canadians on TV.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like-
find that it
But
was
like
just,
when I got into
like,
acting, I didn't think like I never thought I was different because I'm like, well, I speak English properly. I feel like I like everybody else. But we were also very surrounded by Arabs and like in our community, like the city, whatever. It's very you know. But like I didn't think I was very different. And then I was getting all these auditions for refugees and terrorists, and I was like, oh, I guess I am different. Like, but it never crossed my mind how different I was watching these shows.
No.
Until I couldn't make
Until
it
you were in it.
Until I
Yeah.
couldn't
You
make
see
it into these shows, and I was like, oh shit,
No
no one's gonna hire me now. Damn it.
Oh my god.
And that's why you started your own stuff.
That's my
Exactly.
yeah, but I just want to hire me, man. This is such hard work.
It is.
Such hard work.
It is. It'll get there. Don't worry. Just keep at it.
And a lot of things
at
for
it.
Muslims that I've been like looking at, it's for South Asian Muslims. It's not Arab Muslims. It's
No,
South
a lot
Asian
of the
Muslims.
times, like this is like Marvel does this a lot in their comic books. When they introduced the new Miss Marvel, it was like, oh, she's gonna be a Middle Eastern Muslim.
She's not. She's Pakistani.
Muslim.
But she did create an Arab superhero.
There was already
Amulet, I think his name
there
is.
was already an Arab superhero from like the 90s.
But he was a villain first, wasn't he?
No,
But-
there was from DC Comics. They created it was a woman
Oh, okay, maybe not the same
Muslim
person. I'm thinking, okay.
from the Middle East that they created in the comics, but
Nothing probably came of
nothing
her.
came from it
Yeah.
because it was only like a few issues here and there,
Yeah.
and they decided to shelf it because it's like, what is it? Oh, well, why are we gonna do Middle Eastern?
And like we're always like Muslim. Like I mean, at least she's not covered. Not say at least she's not covered, but like they think right away if Muslim you're covered.
Yeah.
You know, you're wearing a hijab. She
Yeah.
doesn't wear. She's a teen, but she's not wearing a hijab or anything.
Her mom wears a hijab
Okay.
in the comics, and her
But she's
mom-
Pakistani,
like,
yeah.
she's
But
Pakistani.
they have an Arab superhero named Amulet, I think, part of that whole thing. But they
Okay,
haven't.
so
they haven't really
that's
developed
newer.
him
Okay,
yet.
that's newer. Then they also had a Muslim Green Lantern, Simon Baz, who was from Detroit, of course.
Dearborn.
Dearborn, Detroit, who was technically not a villain, but like he was like.
Was he a drug dealer?
No, like he literally as this is funny because like as a Green Lantern you have a ring, right? You have a ring, you do whatever. He has a gun too. Everything he makes is a gun because apparently Arabs in Detroit have guns.
That's just an
Isn't that an American thing?
Yeah.
It's not an Arab thing. It's an
Yeah.
American
American thing.
thing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So because he was like before when he got the ring, he was robbing he was like literally down on his luck, like he was like literally struggling to survive, and he needed money, so his cousin's like, yo, let's go rob this place and get money. And when he got the ring was because he saved, I think I'm trying to remember, this was a long time ago, this was like a few years ago. Holy shit, 10 years ago. he saved one of the cops from being shot by his brother, and then the ring came from a different lantern that died, and then, so
I'm
he
not
has
saying
a gun.
anything about that.
Anyways, so they had obviously an Arab with a gun for God knows what reason as a Green Lantern. Yet he has a ring that like does whatever the fuck he like.
And it ends up being a gun.
And it becomes it's fucking mad. Yeah.
That is so
man.
like
I know.
trying to throw
and it was the same thing like
onto someone else.
It was the same thing like with
we just need more content with Arabs, just normalizing them as humans.
Because the problem is that we need more writers that are
there's this whole thing about like
Arab
Middle
writers?
Eastern writers
Yes.
in Hollywood being 0.3% of
that's
and it was in the Hollywood Report. It was all blah blah blah. There's so many research and
but
whatever.
they're not gonna do anything about it.
No,
and they won't you've got to like you're doing is like pushing forward and pushing through and being able doing your own stuff to be able to come through and be like, okay, I am an Arab writer.
The thing is we just need to normalize. I just don't want to these stories of like a refugee terror or whatever and having to be wearing a hijab or whatever. I didn't grow up like that. Mom wasn't wearing covered. We weren't covered. We weren't whatever. And
people take it off when they've had it on, and then they'll take it off.
It's just
it's choice. It has nothing to do
But this is their story.
Everybody thinks it's the religion. It's
and
technically
everyone
culture.
thinks Arabs are all Arabs are Muslim, and that's not even
cultural thing from the Ottomans.
Yeah.
So it's just frustrating, and then they make the whole story about their identity, and you're like, no, can't she just be a badass, or can't she be the love interest, and can't she just whatever without having her culture be the center of the storyline?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's
then they'll just cast a white girl.
But then,
that's what they're gonna say. Because we don't have to develop her background.
But you can. But I mean, there's Ravi and I were talking about this yesterday. We were joking about making reels about tell me you're Arab without telling me you're Arab, where he's listening to the watermelon and tapping it. You know what I mean?
God.
How I dads to listen. But
he does pick pretty good watermelons though.
But it's that's
I don't know how. It doesn't make sense.
But
I tried.
But doing that without having to make that the storyline was he's having a conversation while doing it. So things like that are just normal to us.
Yeah.
Part of the whole, the things that they're but it's not part of the storyline. Him picking a watermelon, and it's not about the watermelon. It's just him doing it while having a conversation. You know what I mean? That's what needs to be done. Things like that.
Yeah, that needs to be done.
Right.
The problem is,
will it be done?
Will it be done? That's the issue.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
So okay. So we were fucking off topic for a while. And we've been going at this for
Oh no.
quite
I know,
while.
and I totally forgot that my in-laws had dinner tonight. So I'm JC drove there with the really bad car.
Oh, is he?
He made it.
Okay.
He made it. I was like, I'll be there as soon as we're done. That's why I keep checking my phone. I'm like, oh man, I totally forgot. But he did too.
He did too?
Yeah,
okay,
that's when he started calling me. I'm like, we're recording. What's wrong? And he's like, I was dinner at my mom's house. I'm like, forgot.
Next time. We can end it there if you guys want, because I was gonna go with one more thing, but
wait, one more thing.
The one more thing is trying to so in the show, right? So 90s and so in the 90s, we were growing up through the 90s, so we didn't really think about, we thought things happened just by coincidence or by chance or whatever. Mm-hmm. But now you grow up and you're like, well, no, this shit actually happened for specific reasons, and the specific reasons for me to grow up and be who I am, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things in the show, which was hilarious, actually, this kind of reminds me of Dad. So the parents are stopped at a red light, and then a guy messes up, brakes too late, and hits them from behind. What do they do? What did the parents do? They tell the kid in the back, "You're a bad actress, stay in the car." They get out of the car, oh, my neck. And then the wife, oh, my back, my back. The guy comes out of the car. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll take responsibility. Whatever you need. It's the first time I just got into Korea. Blah blah blah." He's still Korean, but so they're milking it. They got an ambulance. Ambulance comes, takes the wife to the hospital. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll pay for it." And then the guy's like, "My car. You destroyed my car. I just got it brand new. Blah blah blah. Right." Right. So. They end up going to the hospital. Okay, they can milk the shit out of it. So they're doing MRI, CTs, X-rays.
It's not like Canada. Everything's you have to pay for everything.
So there in Korea, it's subsidized healthcare.
Okay.
So there, they have a national insurance is what it's called. What's it called?
Very expensive.
It's so everything is like subsidized by the government. So when you get like an X-ray, instead of like the States where you pay like $600, there you pay like $10. So it's like
where we pay $0.
Exactly, right? So at least they have something there.
But
so
we wait for a long time,
right? So there it's like, so he's doing all these scans or whatever, and then they're just chill. They're literally chilling in the hospital, okay. And then at one point, they get one of the doctors comes in and is like, okay, so we found something in the MRI, and so they found a tumor in the I think it was where is it in his. Oh my god, I can't even remember anymore. But they found a tumor in him. So they're like, okay, well, you have cancer. We gotta, like, do this now. Thankfully, it's good that you came in now because it's in the early stages and we can do the surgery for it and we can get rid of it and whatever.
Yeah. That's crazy, yeah.
So they take...
Everything happens for a reason.
Right? So the best part, they take him in to go through the surgery. The doctor of the surgery comes out. Who's the doctor of the surgery? The guy that hit him from behind.
Damn.
Right? How fucked is that?
Yeah. That's good.
Hit him from behind, hit his car from behind, accidentally caused the accident, paid off for all this shit, and it ends up saving his life by taking cancer out of him. How fucked up is that, right?
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
And so, the whole situation reminds me of Dad, first of all, because Dad's like crazy stories and shit like that.
Yeah.
And the shit we went through with Dad. But like the fated, like, if the guy didn't hit him from behind, he wouldn't have cancer, he wouldn't have been saved by cancer, and he would have died a few years later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's like JC's grandmother when she like fell on ice and like hurt her shoulder and went to the hospital. They found a tumor in her lung and then like removed it and she's fine. Like had she not fallen and hurt herself, then they wouldn't have found the tumor until way later.
Exactly.
Like super random, kind of thing. But when I think of Dad in like car accidents and stuff or someone hitting, I think of Dad in a baseball bat.
Oh my god.
And I remember this one time.
Where, here or Montreal?
Here, Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent.
I don't think I was
where
there.
the Lone Star is?
Was I there?
Yes.
Was I there for that?
I don't know.
No, because he's done it in Montreal.
But that's like one of my memories.
It wasn't even in his car too. He went out. Anyways.
What do you mean? Oh my god. Anyways,
but yeah, the baseball bat and everything. Yeah.
He's done that multiple times.
Yeah.
Like if people like back then had like cameras on their phone and whatever, like I don't know how much like that would be so famous.
Oh my god.
For all the stupid shit that
in
he
jail?
did. Either. Because I think you can still be famous and in jail because you can do stupid shit. There's so many people who get
like
out
the
of
guy with the mugshot?
Yeah, the mugshot guy.
The
really good-looking guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Went to jail for like theft and arson and all that shit. And
But it's funny because they post like the mugshots. Like it's
Canada is not allowed.
Yeah,
it's illegal here in Canada to post the mugshots.
Oh my god. Okay,
but there is a date an inmate. So you can go through inmates and stuff like that.
But the only reason I know about the mugshots was because of like something that happened here, and then the newspaper were releasing a regular photo of the guy, and they're like, remove his photo, put his mugshot, and they're like, we're not allowed, and this is the only photo we can find on Facebook, like, but they're not allowed to post his mugshot.
Okay, that makes sense now.
And then it's like him like being innocent playing tennis. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, don't they do that for like?
They do that with a lot. They do that with a lot.
But they're like
lotto.
Yeah,
like
it was a huge thing.
Especially like the
Is that
young
the kid
white
that
kids.
ran over the family?
Yes.
That one,
yeah. That's why people were like, take it down and put his mugshot, and they're like, they're not allowed to do that, and that's the only photo they could find.
Like
they couldn't figure it. Yeah, that's right. They're like, just take down the photo completely.
They couldn't find like a normal picture where you're just sitting there doing nothing. Instead you're just
apparently.
Picture, no?
Right?
I don't know. Anyways,
yeah. So there was that. There was another time where we went to the Sens game. And
Dad told me about this.
Yeah.
He went to a Sens game?
No, he went to pick them up.
I was gonna say.
And then he's like, my sons and I were back to back to back, and we were gonna like be, my sons knew like how to like.
I've never heard this story from another person. Tell me the story.
I don't know. He told me this recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
And then how
God.
you all like came out, you, Dad, and Hey Sam, and were like back to back to back, ready to like fight everybody.
Oh my God, that
because it was like crazy traffic. Canada, some guy like tried to like cut you off. I can't remember.
Dad cut off this guy, and then not like cut him off. Like Dad had actually what I remember, he had his signal on. on, which is a rare thing to do,
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
And he starts going in because it's crazy traffic, and that's what
Yeah.
people are doing after the Sens game. And then these drunk kids in their car are throwing beer cans at our car. So we take the turn, and then they kept throwing. So Dad got fed up. He stopped the car. They stopped the car. We all get out. Dad's nuts. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The driver's trying to get out. Dad comes and just fucking kicks the door back and hits his kid. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
Whoa. Whoa. I'm like, holy shit.
You know, you guys are glorifying him on this podcast. You are glorifying
I'm just saying,
him.
it was like, because I know Dad's stories, and I've heard of Dad's stories, especially from multiple different people,
Yeah.
and seeing some of the shit he's done. It's just
I know, we witnessed like half of it.
But like, so yeah, we
I
got
wasn't there for that. I was there for a lot of other stuff, but
we got into a fight, and I fought. The guy that I was fighting with was like 6'3" or something. He was like tall. He looked like what's his face? Peter Evans, the guy that plays.
Oh yeah.
maybe it was him. You never know.
I don't know. He was huge.
Quicksilver, yeah.
Quicksilver, thank you. And I'm like, fuck. Like we're like shoving each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this. So I go and I grab the scraper from the car, right? The brush, come back out, and he looks at me, he's like, oh, you're not man enough to fight me with like barehanded or whatever. And I'm like, look at you. You're fucking huge. What am I supposed to do? And then he just looks at me, he's like, you're right. And then we just stop.
It's not a fair fight.
No, exactly. And he's like, you're right. I'm like, okay.
His dad's still
And then
beating up
Dad and Hazel, I don't know
teenagers.
what the fuck's happening with Dad and Hazel.
And Haysam is so much more like Dad than he'd like to think.
Oh yeah.
There's certain things
Like,
that
goes
he's
off
like,
on a honest, like
I'm not gonna say it on the podcast, but there's things that he's dad that I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
I was like, you're so much like Dad, and he's like, no, shut up. And I was like, you're exactly like him.
I do things where I catch myself. I'm like, oh my god, this is what Dad would do.
Yeah.
Stop it.
yeah, you turn into your parents.
Yeah.
You
It's
turn into your
not-
parents.
It's not a pleasant feeling sometimes. No.
But I also feel like it's because we grew up in the ghetto, and it's like, you
Oh my
can't get
God.
the ghetto out of
It's
us.
so funny because
Take us
I'm
out of the
like,
ghetto,
I tell
but you can't take the
I tell
ghetto
the
out of
kids
us.
all the time, I'm like, you
100%.
guys living in the suburbs, you guys have no
idea.
clue. And Layla's like, okay, well, I want to go live in the ghetto. And I'm like, you're not going to survive
I
in the ghetto.
know, please.
No, I want to.
Oh my god, I remember like when I had Bear. Oh, they
When
both stopped.
They both stopped.
When?
That one earlier.
And you didn't mention
I
that?
couldn't.
She mentioned that one.
Yeah.
I heard her say that one.
Oh.
It wouldn't let me in.
It's not gonna let you record anymore?
No.
Oh,
And
maybe
then
you're
this one
full.
just stopped and I can't record.
Oh my god, but
Oh my god.
I have to go eat dinner.
We all have to eat dinner.
I know.
Oh, that's true, huh?
There's one time when I had Bear and I was at mom, like when we were off Cahill. I'm not gonna start saying like street names, and it was like 2 a.m. and their neighbors were having like a party and there's like drug dealers here and there, and then Bear comes out and he like runs
Oh yeah.
to one of the guys and he throws himself against the tree and he's screaming, and I was like,
Yeah. So that. I remember that.
Walk away, like, because the dog was
short shorts and
was
like
like
PJs
Was this one?
walking out.
it was 2 a.m. and like I was sitting outside and like their neighbors were having a party and like they ran away from Bear.
Yeah. It was.
Bear was
like,
barking at them.
It was so.
And this
a lot
one
of,
guy
like,
threw himself against the tree, like, oh my god, he's a bear, he's gonna eat me, blah blah.
Was that
And
the
I was
same-
just
was that-
like, I can't remember, and I was just like, oh.
'Cause it-
No, there's another guy who ran away from Gizmo
Oh, that's
That
right.
was really
that was
funny.
What
They
is
were
with
like,
them and dogs?
I
because
don't
they're
know.
raised with like not allowed to touch them, to fear them or whatever.
these are, like,
but
Arab
Bear
kids?
was like, and like
Oh,
Somalis, and
Somalis.
so,
Yeah.
but like it's funny because Bear was
Because it's
big, and I get
haram
it.
to have a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's okay to have a cat, but you're not allowed to have dogs because it's haram.
It's so funny though.
So-
and like these drug
Yeah.
dealers who
Yeah.
were scared of my dog, and I'm like, 100 pounds
Yeah.
at the time, like
Yeah.
walking away with this big dog, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you're an idiot. Like,
There was it the same time where they were like jumping into their cars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was
no, sorry, that was a different.
That was a-
no,
no,
because it was a
'cause
different dog. It was a pit bull, I think, ran from like someone's backyard and like ran through them.
Oh, okay.
And I was like sitting there like just on the side watching them, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Well, I wouldn't really want a pit bull after me either.
It was like a bit, Well, they were. I'm sure they were antagonizing or whatever. It didn't come after me. I was sitting there by myself.
Pit bulls are harmless if you train them.
Yeah.
They're like actually really.
We were in the ghetto. They were not being trained.
Yeah,
like,
remember we were that was
not in a good place.
there was because I remember that time it was like because there was raids going on in the neighborhood behind us.
Yeah.
So all the drug dealers were coming onto our side and they're just chilling.
Where's this Patola?
Yeah.
May, I was trying not to name street names.
Oh.
So
Sorry.
they would all chill there.
Oh my God,
could just
remember
beep
when
over-
the SWAT team? You guys in the SWAT team?
So 2 doors down.
Who's not gonna know that one?
Yeah, 2 doors. Well, there's a lot of raids around here.
There was another shooting in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then someone
Recently
bleeding.
or before?
No,
this
this
was
is when we were
years ago.
there.
This is years
This
ago.
is when we were there.
Yeah.
Like there was a guy that
There was a shooting at a barbecue, and then like somebody ran into another neighborhood, but it was like the good guy that apparently got shot. Like he was helping somebody. I don't know what happened.
that was
It
messed
like,
up. There was
awful.
another time where like Haysom was lucky enough he left, but there was a carport across from where we live, so our backyard and the carport like across in another neighborhood. This guy came running out from between the houses.
Oh yeah, with the gun.
With a friggin' shotgun, just shooting at them across.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Haysom was lucky because he left right before
and we were
he got
in the
there.
house.
And all I hear, this guy's running, hand like this. This guy was nuts.
Yeah.
Hand like this, and a shotgun. You have to hold 2 hands. This guy, I don't know what he was on. Just running. Just running. Yeah. It's like,
And then there's like the neighbor that let all the kids in his house, and he like fucked off. I don't remember. Whatever. That's where the SWAT team went in
because
looking for the drug dealers. They were using his house.
Yeah. But he called the cops 2 days before they came.
Okay.
And they found out that he called the cops.
Oh, it was him.
And he was out. I was watching him do it.
Yeah.
And when they found out, it was like I think it was like that night or the next day, because all you see literally is all these like I think 3 or 4 of them jumping the fence and running into the next neighborhood. And then the next day or like the day after, then the SWAT team comes and it's like, you guys came too late.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
But
with
he was
you
gone
guys?
by then. Like the guy who rented the house.
No, he was still there. He had to be there because they took him to rehab after, and he left to rehab for a while. So then his ex-wife came with his kid, who was like just as bad as all those other kids.
Anyways, when you grow up in the
when
ghetto.
you go in the ghetto, like this is what happens. Like growing up in the ghetto. Oh
so
man,
funny.
so it's really different. Like so our experiences right in the 90s very different from like her experience right in the 90s. So it's pretty
But even when we
interesting.
did grow up in like middle class neighborhoods,
We were the
still
ghetto kids.
ghetto
We were still-
kids.
yeah, we
We
were
were
kids.
like when we moved from Montreal to Ottawa, it was a huge culture shock for us.
Yeah.
Because Montreal, we were always outside. Montreal, like we were just like on the streets till like, you know, like they say, till the, you know, like after dark, you know, street lights come on. We're still playing in the park.
Yeah.
We're doing like, you know,
Montreal's a
with our
different
friends.
atmosphere.
Like
It's a different energy.
But it's funny because it's like, it's not like that now when you go suburbs and stuff like that. Maybe in the city.
Yeah, in the city it's
kind
like
of
that.
because it's a lot immigrants, right?
Yeah.
I find only with immigrant families and immigrant neighborhoods. I don't find that in white neighborhoods, unless that you know you're a white person in an immigrant neighborhood. But coming to Ottawa, it was all white neighborhood, and everybody was home by 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nobody was in the streets. Everything was closed. Nobody in the parks, and we were just like, "What the fuck do we do now?
Yeah.
Like, what do we do now?"
Well, I don't know. When we were growing up on like the South End, I mean, we were out until like 8 o'clock with all our friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Immigrant
It's a different
neighborhood.
Immigrant.
Yeah, in the South, like where we were was not.
No, but
it was
like,
all like it was
Stockton
not.
area. It was like no, we were. They're all like white. I think it was me and like a
your
black
friends
kid.
were
Like
white.
yeah,
I don't know.
Your
Well, my
friends
friends
were
were
white.
Arab in that neighborhood.
Stockton.
Yeah.
You were really there.
I was there. I was 16.
No, you were in college when we were in Stockton.
Which that's the one off of.
That's when you were dating the Skeet Ulrich lookalike. You were in
um.
college at that point.
No.
Or like going into like.
It was off of Queensdale.
Yeah. I was there.
Yeah, May was there for a while.
That was 16.
Yeah, we were in the basement.
Yeah,
No,
I wasn't
May-
18
May
in
was
college.
there. She
College,
was-
I was
I remember that
like
because
off
May was
Walkley.
smoking.
Yeah.
No, I was only smoking at like 19.
Yeah, that's where I was with like Nicole and Heather.
That wasn't me. That's Maha.
And Sylvie.
That's Maha.
And Sean.
Yeah, that was 16. Yeah. That was still at Charlevoix. So I didn't graduate when we were there.
So I started in high school.
Yeah, I was still there.
Grade 9, and
I was there.
You were because.
Yeah, she was there, right?
I was there.
No, you were living there.
Yeah,
but I'm saying like you weren't like hanging out with the people in the neighborhood.
No, I had my other friends.
That's what I'm saying.
But Nancy
like,
was in that neighborhood. Claudia and Teresa.
She was on the other side. Yeah, but
everybody was all in that neighborhood. But they all went to St. Mark's and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were out. We had parties.
But like in the neighborhood when we were hanging out, like we were out like, in the neighborhood, the basketball courts and all that.
No. But we had parties at that house and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were all with all the white people.
We were all but that's what it was. There was all white people my age.
Black kid was like my age was like a black kid, one white kid that I fucking hated.
We were marrying you off to Dana.
And then
I remember that.
Yeah, I dated all white girls until I married Nadia. Like,
no, you didn't.
Okay, one. No, there was only one.
Are you talking about like what's?
There was one.
No, two. It was Pamela.
There was just one.
Do you know that her name is not Pamela anymore?
No, that's
that one. That was a different one. Sorry, that was a different one.
I dated like 3 different Pamelas.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ask me. It just happened.
It's a popular Lebanese name.
Yeah.
Apparently.
No, there was one chick in grade 7. Her name was Pamela. She was Leb.
Is that the one who's like the Baskin Robbins?
The Baskin Robbins.
No, I never dated Jennifer. That's Jennifer. I never dated her. I wasn't allowed.
Yeah, you were. We took you to the movies with her. I dropped you off at
I wasn't
the movie
allowed.
theater with her.
No. We weren't actually dating. We were just friends because her dad like refused to allow us to like actually date.
Yeah, that was crazy, but you know.
He was the owner of the Baskin Robbins, and he
ended up he bought it
he's
from the
one
older
died in like the
fire.
The fire, right? Like he couldn't get out of the room or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never actually dated her.
Oh. Okay.
I was never allowed to. It sucked, but whatever. And she was older too. She was a year older.
Are people gonna want to listen to like our story?
I don't know.
We're not
really
referencing anything.
Rambling. Okay, so what's the next one?
Okay.
I have to go to dinner, man.
Yeah. Let's end it. I'm gonna cut this into 2. This will be the second part. I'll do one part, 2 part. That's okay because it's been 2 hours.
All right, cool.
Okay, so
but I was telling JC when we went to Sandbanks, the beach, and I was like, I miss going to the beach with like my family because we used to have barbecues.
Man, the
bring
beaches
barbecue
in the 90s was amazing.
And like do all this stuff or whatever. And it's not just like little sandwiches and whatever. Like mom was like literally cutting the chicken there and like cooking it, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I miss that like whole thing. And then it's funny because there was like, I bring my Arab blanket for the beach because it's like nice and thick. It's a big pink one. I have the blue one somewhere. But then the people that were next to us one day, I was like, they have the same blanket. They have the blue one.
Did you steal it?
No, but I was like, but then we're like, for sure they're Arabs.
Yeah.
And mom was like, I told mom, and she's like, those blankets come directly from Syria.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we got those when we were down there.
Yeah. And so I'm like, it's interesting they had it, but they had like a whole like gazebo going, and they had the Arabic music and the Bekke, the girl like belly dancing on the freaking table. One kid doing backflips, like, and like the barbecue going. I was like, I miss this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like we used to do that.
Yeah.
And like we're very
no backflips, but barbecue.
Well, I know this kid. I guess he's a gymnast, and he was showing everybody that he was doing backflips and stuff. He reminded me of Anthony. He looked like Anthony.
Oh my god! Of course, they all
like
look,
a big curly
they
hair.
all look the same.
And but he was like backflipping through the beach. It was really cool. But
that's funny.
But I was like, we have the same blanket.
Yeah. I know I was young in the 90s, but like late 90s, early 2000s for me was like it was like
the music was better.
Music was so much
better.
better.
Yeah, so much better.
So
the
much
clubs
better.
were better.
Yeah. Dollar
the
shop.
energy was better.
The club. Okay, I'll ask that next time.
The energy was better.
The clubbing in the 90s compared to 2000s.
Yeah.
Like till now.
It depends on where you were.
It depends
Montreal was different than Ottawa.
Yeah.
You know.
I had a good time in the 90s at the bars, at the clubs.
And Ottawa was better back then for clubs than it is now.
Well,
so
every other week it was RJ's on Thursdays, and then this place on Fridays, and this place on Saturdays, and this
on
Mondays.
Thursdays it was Reactor.
No. So when Maissa,
get it right, fatty.
When Maissa
the
was
theater,
old enough to go to the club, I remember
RJ's.
No, we went to Gatineau when I was 8. Like
that's it.
Well, that's what we all did. We all kind of had fake ID.
Willie's
went over to like
all that stuff.
Gatineau,
yeah.
And Hall was absolutely amazing.
It was great.
It was before your time, and Hall was just like
it went downhill.
The living room, Willie's. It was great, but then when I moved to Montreal,
living room. I remember that one. Living room. I remember living room. I remember RJ's. I remember I remember
On Tap.
I remember On Tap.
On Tap was there for a long time.
I remember.
Oh yeah, even after they closed
White,
everything
White
down.
China.
China White.
Cosmos.
Theater. It was.
Theater, yes.
I don't even know
what was before China White? It was.
But I remember
They've changed. They changed it
actually,
so
what was it?
many times.
Yeah, because they changed it. I know why, but anyways.
Yeah, I know. But like,
what was it before?
it was
Even
so
they know
I
why.
can't remember. But
It was
so
like the
many
hot tub, and everybody was in that hot tub. It was so disgusting. What was it called
Anyways.
again?
That's
It was
nasty.
nasty.
Oh my
It was
God.
so fun.
I
It was
have
so
to
much
go
fun.
eat dinner now.
Okay,
With
so
my
let's end
white
this now.
side of the family.
Thanks
Is
for-
waiting for you.
I don't know. I told them to eat, and I eat when I get there.
All right.
So
see
thanks
ya.
thanks for being on the show, and hopefully we'll get you guys on here another time.
We won't go
'cause
so
this
much
is
over a tangent next
Too
time.
much fun.
We should just have a podcast about our family.
I think we
It
should
doesn't need
just
to be related to
stories.
anything.
That's
It's
what
just the
I said.
family.
And then he's like, oh, they won't do it. I'm like, why won't they do it? Like, all of you guys just talking on a podcast would be the best thing in the world.
I know,
Yeah, we'll
the
do it.
people
We'll try
instead
it
of
out.
like-
Try.
Anyways, so take care, and we'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.